don't have to wave like me. Let them not come and start looking for your trouble. Just smile and be cute. Let me do the waving. Hi guys, I'm Daddy Freeze, and this is my gorgeous Amarachi. 400 actually. 549. So, welcome everyone. I'm here with my beautiful daughter Amarachi. If you're watching on TikTok, double click the screen. If you're watching on YouTube, share the video, subscribe to my YouTube channel. And if you're watching on Instagram, you are where you are supposed to be. So, from the latest updates, my daughter and I have been reading through all the updates. We did promise that whenever there was a MohBad update, we'll bring it to you. That is our little contribution to keeping the MohBad narrative alive and making sure MohBad gets justice. We had a discussion about this yesterday, but we didn't have the fullness of information like we do now. So we're going to go a little bit. So I said, talk about P2B. What do you want me to say about P2B? There's nothing to say about P2B. P2B should try next time. Is that what you want me to say? And that's what I'll say. You should try next time. So there's 2027. You should try again next time. I don't have anything for P2B. P2B is not my preferred candidate. My preferred candidate is Omoyele Sowore. So the crying, people are crying over P2B. I'm not crying it. Because I don't see how P2B would have done any difference in Nigeria. The person who would have done the difference is the youth, and you know vote for him. So we don't cry our own pass. Someone said, tell her to smile. She's reading comments. You know that these comments are plenty. Wrist check, just a few diamonds, nothing serious. So I love P2B, by the way. Don't get me wrong, but it's not going to work this dispensation. So let's look at 2027, hopefully. And if it doesn't work, P2B is a youth, not only a youth. Youth Nikoni. Please, we don't have time for that. We are here to talk about MohBad, not P2B. And we're here to talk about all the things that came up. So, by the way, I was a few minutes ago on the Teju Babyface show, so you guys need to watch out for that. Teju Babyface is an amazing interviewer. He drew so much out of me. What's her name? Her name is Amarachi. So, let's keep that in. If you're watching on TikTok, double click the screen or double click the screen. So the gist is, MohBad's father said that, according to Instablog and Gistlover, they both agree that MohBad's father said that his wife used to put medicine inside his food so that him go fit sleep. And to be very honest, I have my reservations about that, and I'm going to say it. And it doesn't, you know what, Amara, you talk. I'm going to talk next. Over to you. This matter tire everybody. By the way, buy direct from USA.com. Anything you want from abroad, watches, straps, electronics, accessories, chargers, mobile phones, gift items, printing materials, anything you want, cars, car parts, from abroad, buy direct from USA.com. I know many of you are not going to be able to afford to fly abroad, so the easiest thing for you to do is get your stuff and get it shipped. Buy direct from USA.com can help you with that. So over to you. Someone said the father. Now, I want us to go into the mind of MohBad. Or do you want to talk? Yeah, you talk.
I don't really know what to say on the matter. I feel like everything is just scattered. I don't know.
Everything is scattered. I agree with you 100%. So let me tell you my point of view, and you tell me if you agree or disagree. Let's take a walk in MohBad's mind. Remember, I said this yesterday. Justice for MohBad can never be injustice for Naira Marley or Samilari or the wife or Mohbad's father or anybody involved in this matter. Justice for Mohbad means justice for everyone. That being said, we have to understand the weakness of Mohbad himself. Mohbad himself, in his own song, said him they take Banku. Do you know what Banku is? When waiting at the column, when wall, what's that thing in the wall? That wavy line. There's a word for it. I don't want to use the word. When some this word, I don't want you to mention it, starts with a C and ends with a K.
Oh.
It's a very potent drug, and if you've been on that stuff for 1 year or more, your mind no go dey normal. You'll be hallucinating. You know, we have a family member that has this problem. You know, and we've been dealing with it for many years. You understand? You can't be normal. So his own mind himself, the person that has that problem in the family suspects that everybody wants to do him wickedness.
Yes.
I'm just telling you, we have a family experience. So justice for Mohbad also means letting ourselves into Mohbad's shortcomings, into his mind. So those of you say Mohbad talks to his father. Was Mohbad really 100% okay? Answer this. Dun, 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 dun. Was he 100% okay? Someone said, this your daughter is so beautiful. That's what you look at. He said it with his own mouth. Dali Evelyn says, look how somebody is talking to her father's mate. Someone that is better off than her father. If I decide, say, I won't feed your papa now, it could be like, say, I they call your papa, normally na gate man working, come this work, come do as destiny. Waiting be your name, Darby Evelyn. Oh, it's a bit early. I was expecting you to be by the side of the road now. Doing psst, psst. Honey. Psst, psst. Jada no lori live, me a year only that weary. Come to my live, they talk nonsense. So, let us be very honest. He said it. Lyrics from a song doesn't confirm. He takes it in real life. Okay, so what was he doing in it? Why doesn't NDLA come to my own house? Why hasn't NDLA come to my own house? You see, my problem with you is you don't like reality. You don't like reality. He said it in a song. NDLA, at least we know, went to his house. So you also need to understand that his mind was, you cannot say his mind was 100%. Unless you want to. What do you think? You did fear to talk. What do you think?
I just feel like there are many possibilities. Also
Say substance.
Also the substance
Overuse.
Substance overuse could have affected him mentally, and he could have told his father some absurd things. But they never really said he told. They say he told his father.
People are assuming. They say people talk to their parents, and his father is paranoid. And his father is relating what he said. Let's also remember that even from the little we are privy to, we can tell that he had a troubled life. This does not rule out anybody inside it. This doesn't make anybody that they are mentioning innocent or guilty. We now have to also, so we have someone in the family who has this substance problem. And I remember clearly that when we wanted to take the person to the hospital, we had to use police to come and carry the person before we could get the person to the hospital for treatment. Because they are paranoid, they believe everybody will. So if you've not had it in your family before, you will not understand where I'm coming from. And I believe that there's a possibility that even if the wife puts sleeping pills in his food, it is because he will not agree to take them. One of the most difficult things to deal with people who have substance issues is to get them to use medicine. Baba, now world war. They believe that they cook up a conspiracy inside their minds. You need to understand that their minds are fragile. Someone said, what's my point? My point is, if he needed to sleep and needed to take pills, sometimes they are giving the pills indirectly. So now there are two things to this, or three things. One is we have a problem. One, the wife actually is doing something wrong. It's a possibility, right?
Yes.
The second, he doesn't know what he's really saying, and he's telling his father what he believes from a paranoid perspective. Is a possibility. The third possibility is, the father, his name seems to pop up anywhere there is property. So there could be a possibility that the father is saying this because of property issues. And the final one is, yes, it was actually happening, but it was being done for his own good because he was refusing medication, which we also saw because he refused to go to the hospital. He refused to. That's why they brought a nurse home. So there are so many, like she rightly said, there are so many possibilities. And if we truly want justice for MohBad, somebody say, Sean Lead say MohBad knows use Rich Fela or Bob Marley, and yet none of them accuse wife of trying to buy them. Waiting Bob Marley and Fela they take, no be waiting day street now, oh, Sean Leeds. Waiting day street, especially the one where they call ice, and that one where they call Banku. If Fela take am, if Bob Marley take am, they go dey rehab. They go dey rehab. Ordinary rado. If you use ordinary rado, you no go dey no you fit from rado enter psychia, come dey talk banku long. So we've got to be careful how we understand and interpret information, not because of anything, because people's lives are involved. If we truly love MohBad and his wife is innocent, do you want to send his wife to prison just to suit an agenda? Have you now noticed that nobody they talk about Naira Marley again? No?
It's the wife.
He don't move going wife now. All those Naira Marley. Do you know if they had caught Naira Marley a month ago? Waiting Nigerians for do Naira Marley, una can't realize say Naira Marley is not even in the front. In the coroner's inquest, they not even mention Naira. The papa even talk say, let's read what the father said. Let's read what the father said about Naira Marley. According to reports, because we are not even sure of these reports or the veracity of the reports that we're dealing with. This is what the father said about, I'm looking for it. It says, according to Instablog Niger's report, Joseph, that's MohBad's father, testified during the coroner's inquest into the buy of his son, who left the world on the 12th of September and was buried the following day. He was 27 years old. Uh, Joseph told the coroner, Magistrate Adedayo Shotobi, that he and his son lived together for 18 years. He said he did not know the exact house where his son lived with Mali. He testified that his son left his house at the age of consent and began to assist Mali while embarking on a career in music. Joseph said he saw his son 3 days before he died. He added that he saw MohBad's coffin only in a picture. According to him, MohBad assured him that he will be able to handle his dispute with Mali. He also testified that MohBad's landed property was in the custody of his mother-in-law, adding that the deceased often told him about his possessions held by his wife and her family. He claimed MohBad's wife put pills into his grub when they lived with Mali. Once again, there was something I was saying before I went in here.
That before it was Naira Marley, now it's the wife, and then
Yes. So right now from this, the father more or less removed Naira Marley. From this particular story, the father has more or less almost exonerated Naira Marley. Who agrees? Who agrees that from this his father's statement is like the father, my own opinion, I may be wrong, seems to be gunning for the wife and her family. Am I correct? What do you think? Your opinion, no, you don't have to agree with me.
yes, I feel like he has somehow lifted the weight from Mali and put it on the wife's and her family's shoulder.
Mm.
But at the same time, why is MohBad giving his wife's mother-in-law and the wife his property?
Now, that's another question that this woman just raised now. Hey, why is comma fool this story? Why is his property in the hands of his wife? Two answers. One, women and their manipulative skills. Or two, he doesn't trust his father. He didn't trust his father from the get-go. Two things. Oh, yes, it could be he loved her. As another perspective. My wife knows where all my property is. Everything that I own, my wife knows about it and where it is. My family, now, my worry is my wife's mother. My wife's mother does not know my property. She does not know how much I have. I'm very cool with my mother-in-law. She's the greatest mother-in-law in the whole world, but we don't discuss my property. My wife, on the other hand, knows everything. Everything. If she doesn't know, it's maybe 30,000 somewhere that I forgot about or something small. All the major things, my wife knows about it. And everything I own is in my hands. But that's also because I am of sound mind. You don't know the dynamics of that. Could it be that there was an issue? I don't know. I don't know. Maybe we're going to bring people to join us live. If you're watching on TikTok, double click the screen. Follow my number one gifter if you're watching on TikTok. Follow my number one gifter. Pop my money guns. Yes. Support our channel. Thank you very much. Someone says, you told, leave the father alone, please. You cannot say that. The father is in the middle of this. You say, may we leave Naira Marley alone. So far, Naira Marley's name has not come in. You want us to put it on the father that is there that they're asking question. Why don't you want to ask question? Leave which father alone? We are not leaving any father alone. We are not leaving anybody alone. We must get, if you really want justice for MohBad, we must interrogate the situation. Am I wrong? Everybody must be questioned. We've questioned Naira Marley. We've questioned Sami Larry. We've questioned the wife. You don't want us to question the father, that the father is what? From all these things that I say, in my humble opinion, I worry about the father. Of course, I'm not saying that the father had anything to do with his demise. I don't think the father did. But I think what I said yesterday, anytime his father is mentioned, landed property is mentioned. Is there something around the father and landed property? And I don't blame the father because I come from a Yoruba family. And in my family, my father is the only person that raised his head. So I know how his family members think. They all think along landed property lines. So I get it. Should we invite people or you said don't fear? All right, let me bring Ada Blessing. Let's just start with somebody gentle like Ada Blessing. If you're watching on TikTok, double click the screen. Follow my number one gifter. Who's my number one gifter? DJ Smooth Paradox is my number one gifter. And Titi Layo Shebi. Yes, follow my number one gifter. Pop my money guns, guys. Big shout out to the first person who's gonna pop my money guns. Oh yeah, pop my money guns, guys. So I've invited Ada Blessing. I don't think she could make it. Let me bring in somebody else. I genuinely, DJ Smooth Paradox just popped a money gun. Oh yeah, I want to bring in people. Oops. Nope. That's not gonna happen. Thank you so much, my darling. I might have to wipe, and it's because I'm inviting people to the live. I want to hear your perspective. Sorry, I turned off the camera so I could wipe. Please accept my request so I can contribute. Okay? All right. So we have somebody joining us now. Bring Iyabo Ojo. Iyabo Ojo, where are you? Is Iyabo Ojo here? I'm actually saying you should say something.
Hello.
Good evening.
Yes, good evening. Can we see your face?
Good evening, ma'am.
Oh, can you not see my face?
Yes, we can see you, but we wanted to see you clearly. We're just seeing half of your face. Very good, like that. So go ahead.
Right.
What are your thoughts?
Okay, I've always wanted to contribute to this.
Now remember, you cannot say. You can only say hipai. Don't use those strong words. I beg you.
Yeah.
We're already dealing with a lot here. So go ahead, ma.
Okay. No. I'm not a mom. Your younger sister. So, by the way, I have 3 questions. Like I was saying in a platform, MohBad is an entertainer. Okay? And in the Western country where I live, my understanding, when you're dealing with MohBad is his entertainment name. That's not his legal name. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
In a Western country where I live, when we're talking about celebrities, because that's what he is, okay? It's his management team that actually respond or that are actually updating. So I'm quite surprised that his management team is missing in all of this. I don't know if that makes sense. You know, the likes of, what's the name? Like the likes of Whitney Houston, of course, we can't liken it, but they're all in, sorry, it's blurry. Sorry.
Don't worry, continue. That's Instagram's fault. Continue with your conversation.
So, when you're talking about celebrities in the Western country, we don't have, they have the PR, they have their management team. In the management team, it consists of maybe somebody in the medical, it consists of the legal, somebody in legal. Just like what Naira Marley's lawyer came to do. Okay? They don't speak. So I'm quite surprised that the parents, everybody's just saying things. And the management team, they are treating MohBad like an individual. But he's actually not an individual. Daddy Freeze, you've been in the entertainment industry. I was in the university. I was just coming out of university when you got into the entertainment industry. So I followed you all through. Okay? So I actually remember coming to Cool FM to look for graduate job to an extent. Anyway, that's by the story. That's by the way. But what I'm saying is, I understand what when you're talking about the entertainment industry, okay? Like you, that is, for instance, if you have to deal with the public, forget about what social media has turned everybody to. If you have to deal with the public under Daddy Freeze is your brand name. Your management team are the ones that would close your deals. They will be the one covering your contracts. They will, they are there for your best interest. So that's what I'm trying to say. So I'm surprised that his management team are not there. That's one. Then secondly, I'm a woman. You see, I remember the first day. I think when the guy died, I think the following day when they were shouting, the wife, come and see, they put stuff in the wife's mother's name. I'm a bit uncomfortable with that.
She asked that question too. Why is it in his wife's mother's name? So we would like to hear from the wife's family. MohBad's property. Why is it in the wife's family's name or the wife's mother's name? Because if that's the case, then the father legitimately has concerns.
Yeah. And Daddy Freeze, one interesting thing? From the time I've been listening to the father from the very beginning, initially he came across as someone who was a pain in the backside. Okay? But when you actually, away from the shenanigans, I'm someone that I reflect on what someone says. So when I started unpicking what he was saying, he's never had any concerns about Naira Marley. Instead, he's always focused on the wife and the family of the wife. Why he does that is a puzzle that would always, he's the only one who can explain
it. Let me say this. Maybe he never really saw Naira Marley as the threat the world is seeing. You see, because now there is inside house.
And MohBad assured him that he would deal with any issues that Naira Marley had. So I think he just brushed it off like Naira Marley
is not important.
Yes.
Yeah.
Now, because you see, sorry, let me say this. She lives in this house with me. She knows where I keep my underwear. She knows where I keep my money. She knows where I keep my car key. If I shout from downstairs, Hamarachi, I can tell her a specific car and she knows where that key is. I can tell her a specific. So she has more inside access.
Yeah.
Than my neighbor, than my followers on social media, than my fans. So God forbid should something happen. Who the fans go they suspect? Go they different from who people inside the family go they worry about? Doesn't mean the people in the family are right. It just means they are seeing, the story of the blind man and the elephant. The one who touch the leg say, it must be a tree. The one who touch the trunk say, it must be a snake. The elephant is a snake. The one who touch the tail say, it must be a rope. All of them are seeing the same thing or are beholding the same thing, but are having different perspectives. So this, sorry, go ahead.
Okay, you know what I think, and this is just me. Okay, what I think is the father. I don't think the wife. I don't think the widow. We're even calling her wife. I don't know if she's legally married to him. But anyway, whatever it is that is presented, from what I deduce from the father, I don't think they have a good relationship. From what I deduce, okay? I'm also Yoruba, right? But the thing is this, there is a lot of loopholes in this case. And I've always said that from day one. I have a lot of concerns about the way the case has been handled all along. Ideally, that if Freeze, you yourself, you travel abroad, you know what's up. In a Western country, when something happens, okay, look at the fight that happened yesterday in America. You're aware of it, right? Now, who was addressing? It's the police. Celebrities that was a mouthpiece. It was the police. They knew had their own story, but the police was the one addressing the public because it's a crime scene.
But that one, we can also blame Nigeria anyhowness and the lack of proper structure in MohBad's camp.
Yeah. You see, Daddy Freeze, everything still comes back, like I said at the beginning, it still comes back to the management thing. Okay? Because all of these things, we treat MohBad, like what I keep seeing people do, they are treating MohBad like an individual. But it's actually a celebrity. MohBad is his brand name. If you are related, if we are treating him, if we are responding to Aloba, what's his name? Ileri Aloba, whatever his name is. Okay? That's a step. It's just like you, Daddy Freeze. If we are referring to you as Ifedayo, that's different from Daddy Freeze. You see, I don't know if you understand where I'm coming from my conversation.
Clearly.
Okay? So ideally, all of these things, even when we're asking what to buy the guy, you understand? When they were going about, okay, he went to the hospital, he did not go to the hospital. Where is the wife? Where is not the wife? All of these things, the management team would have answered. Even the scene where they said they fought or they did not fight, the management team are the ones that would have addressed. Because I don't think they just booked him as MohBad. They would have gone through his management to book him. Okay? Anyway, I don't want to dwell so long on that, but I don't know if I'm making sense with the point I'm highlighting
100%. 100%.
Now let's move to his lifestyle. Okay? Now I will talk about his lifestyle from the angle of I'm a social worker. Okay? I've worked with we work with people that have substance misuse stuff. You understand? Work with people who have people of different low level and everything, you understand? But the point here is this. Now, from what I understand...
Hi, madam, that you just joined.
Daddy Freeze. How are you?
Sorry. Welcome, mute. I'll allow you to talk, but there's background noise where you are. So please mute. If you're watching on TikTok, follow my #1 gifter. Double-click the screen. Follow my #1 gifter if you're watching on TikTok. And do pop my money guns if you're watching on TikTok. Oh, yeah. Yes, go ahead.
Okay. So, what I understand, because I visit Nigeria often. I remembered I visited Nigeria just before the COVID lockdown.
Yeah.
Daddy Freeze, wait till these people they mix, no be here. Wait till they mix in the name of, you understand what I mean? You see, people mix all these things thinking it's recreation. But we have forgotten that we don't have a system to respond to that kind of lifestyle. You see what I mean? So when you look at the substance that they are mixing, like even the colos, the banku, whatever, if you actually know, these are street names, but it's not just one substance that they are mixing.
Yes.
So all of these things, in short, let me give you an example that is phrase. I was in Nigeria for a conference, and we went out to go and enjoy ourselves later in the evening. Interestingly, I remember we got to where we wanted to relax, and they brought whiskey and energy drink as a mixer. Of course, I'm coming from abroad now. I know what energy drink does. Energy drink is bad on its own without putting extra alcohol to it. Okay? But like I said, these guys are taking all of these things. When someone is into substance misuse, it doesn't flush out of your system suddenly. Okay? There is also the angle, substance, if you use, when you, okay, for instance, you have don't let me mention name, but you have the top celebrities, okay, in the music industry, but the Babalowo setting. If that one use mixture, if Papa get money to carry and go private rehab, you understand? The level of, the guys who are the real top guys in the industry, when they do all of these things, they have the money to respond to that, to respond to the impact of that substance straight away. And they will still be well managed. You talk of MohBad or Matapata the day. It just they make change now. You never make money, just they make change. I don't know if people understand what I'm saying.
100%.
You are mixing stuff. Okay, it's mixing stuff. That is, please, let's even tell ourselves the truth. So somebody that is on Banku, I don't know if people understand what is mixed in Banku. Right? Someone from Banku, you said the person they follow you, they tell you this thing happened. Somebody slapped me, somebody beat me. The guy is in a different world entirely.
Mm.
And it doesn't leave their system. These are people we see day in, day out at work. It doesn't leave their system. So, I personally, yes, there's this, when they started shouting Aramali's name, for me, the way I saw it was, all of them, they do what they do. So if they are shouting each other's name, is it saying it from the place of sanity? Or is saying it from the place of being under the influence? You understand? Because anybody that understands substance misuse, you know, look, these guys are wasted. Some of them, it takes years to come up their system.
Some will
of them,
never
will
come out
never
of
be
it completely.
Exactly.
Never, as
Some
in,
will be-
they will
some
never, they will
come
not
out.
be okay till the day they leave this world. They will be paranoid. They will be
Yes.
suspicious. They will be
Exactly. And these are
that's why
side
these things are
effects.
called mind-altering stuff. They alter the state of your
Exactly.
mind.
Because this thing, they impact on mental health. Not be everybody when they work out for road. No, a lot of people know normal. Even alcohol, if you drink alcohol to a level, it alters things in your body. And this is something a lot of people. So when I listened to his song, when he said what he said, I kind of make sense. Because Daddy Freeze, you know what? I will leave very soon. In rounding up, you know what really got me? And he said when MohBad buy, when he got to the house, say he noticed that they put salt.
Hey, your network on the go now when the gist they hot.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you now.
Okay. He said they put salt on the boy's body and they put cotton wool. Okay, there was one of the interviews he did. And what got me was, these guys, how can they be sane? Because ideally, person buy, you go they feel, like you will still be in shock. But he also tells you a lot about all of them in that setting. Are they all users? What is their reaction? Because somebody when they use his own way of reacting, their ways of reacting is different from you and I that are not users. Then this one that is also saying that is suspicious of everybody. Is it suspicious as a result of hallucination as an impact of what he's been using? These are questions that are left there. It's not just a case of looking for justice. Because Daddy Freeze, last but before the list, before I log myself out, the guy that said he's a DJ Splash, I've been waiting. The guy was talking. The guy don't level. To the extent that he was even speaking, even the accent itself, no accent. When Yabo Ojo now posted his picture of now that he's recovering, you can still tell that it is still this small. That's my point. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much for your time. Amachi, what do you have to say?
How do I take myself out?
Just press the star up.
Thank you.
What do you think? Tough one.
Yeah, but I think you managed to cover the vast majority of everything most people are wondering.
Okay, we have another lady with us. Before I bring her live, if you're watching on TikTok, double click the screen. Share the video on TikTok, double click the screen. Double click the screen if you're watching on TikTok. Pop my money guns. Follow my number one gifter. Right now, if you're watching on TikTok, follow my number one gifter. DJ Smooth Paradox is my number one gifter. If you're watching on TikTok, follow my number one gifter. All right. If you're watching on YouTube, remember super chat, super likes, and super stickers. I'm only going to be reading comments that have super likes, super chats, and super stickers. And big shout out to my Facebook audience. If you're watching on Instagram, go to Facebook, search for Daddy Freeze, DADDYFREEZE. Scroll to today's video, bottom left hand corner. You will see.
Freezing.
Hi, my sister. How are you doing?
How are you?
Hello.
I always watching you live, and ever since this mobile case, I wanted to join the conversation,
Mm.
but sometimes I never picked. So, my own take on this, like I feel like everyone at that house, the time that mobile has died, what they
Mm-hmm.
said, I just feel like every one of them didn't do enough for him. That's
Mm.
how I felt. Like every one of them didn't do enough for them. As
Mm.
me as a mother of as me as a mother of four,
Mm.
if I have a like here, all in I live in America. I live in Maryland. I see all the superstars, right? Like instantly, for example, like Bonner Boy mother. I really give her a clap of, you know, like she is always there when it comes to her son. You understand? It's good when your son or your child and anyone, if it's a daughter, anyone that your children, if they in the public eye, you need to know what they're doing. You need to know a lot of stuff, who is behind them, what this person is doing, like the circle. You understand? Because some of these people that comes when you're famous, they comes around you. Some of them will steal your life because they finally will introduce you to drugs
Mm.
because
Mm.
the
Mm.
celebrities, they get tired. They have
Yeah,
to
yeah.
go
Don't use the D
perform.
word. Let's use
Mhm.
more substance, like the other lady who
Yeah,
was
okay,
talking.
substance.
Okay, thank you so much. We're looking for new contributions. What you have said is what we've been saying for days.
Hmm.
So I've got for
Yeah.
Lighton Coca, for Lighton, how are you doing? I've got Ibiri.
I'm fine.
What are your thoughts? Starting with for Lighton, Ibiri, I've had you on this topic.
I just joined in now, so I don't know what
For
you're talking about.
Ibiri, over to you. We'll bring for Lighton back in a moment.
Mm.
Daddy Freeze, this case, honestly, for me personally, I will just be honest, is now like tiring. Like I'm tired of it, generally speaking. But obviously, we're hoping that we can get some level of justice for this young man. And but in trying to get justice, are we really fighting for justice? Because at this point, it almost sounds like we're just looking for who his enemy is. I said in the comment section earlier, it's like we're not we're not trying to first of all determine whether he was killed or not. I'm sorry, that
Mm.
word. Okay. We're not trying to determine whether he was spied or not. Right? It looks like we're just trying to find his enemy. What's
Mm.
there? He has enemies. Everybody has enemies. The enemy is not necessarily the buyer, right? So what are we doing? Why are we looking for the father, the wife, the this? What exactly? How are we trying to tie it to the demise of the man?
Mm.
And it seems like we've lost track of what we're doing completely.
Mm. From your take, the likelihood of Naira Mali being a prime suspect, has it increased over the last few weeks or has it decreased?
He has never been a suspect to me. Yes, he has never been a suspect to me. You may be somebody who, um, I spoke to my brother about this, who's a lawyer. My brother said, I could come to you, Daddy Freeze, and say, I don't like you. And I take and I point at you. But somebody else comes and pulls the trigger. Am I your killer? I'm
Mm.
sorry. That word keeps coming out. I'm so sorry. Am I the one who spied you? No. So no matter what issue they've had with each other, he was not the one who spied him. So I've always known that that guy was not the suspect. Um, but again, critical thinking is kind of off with us as a group of people, and we have really lost track. Right now, we seem to just be chasing like flies here and there. We don't really know what we're looking for anymore. No, the first things first is, was he actually spied by somebody? That's the first things first.
Hmm. Was he even spied by somebody or the circumstances in his life led to his demise? His
That's a
choices,
question.
his associations, could those things actually be responsible for his demise? If you're watching on TikTok, double click the screen. Tap, 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 double click the screen. Follow my number one gifter on TikTok. Follow my number one gifter on TikTok. Follow my number one gifter on TikTok. If you're watching on YouTube, super chat, super likes, and super stickers. Over to you for light on what are your thoughts?
I think I agree with Sibiri here. I hope I'm calling your name rightly. Good evening, everyone. I think I agree with her with what she said. It's tiring now, and you just want everything to just be over. Let the truth come out, and let everyone just let the by sleep in peace. Um, from what she said that we don't even know we don't know what happened to him. It could be that he just had a heart attack, and that happened to him. But pinning his death on different people, or all the time, it doesn't just make any sense at all to me anymore. It's just tiring. That's all I can say. I'm already tired of it. Let let the law take its course. Let the police do their job well, and let everybody stop coming up with assumptions. And let everybody stop. Even his family. We should all be feeling sorry for his family. They are going through a hard time now. Most especially I would say his parents, his wife. She's a young widow. They should just let everyone be and let the police do their job, and that's it. And let him sleep in peace.
The story is changing, somebody is suggesting, and that is because it's before the public eye and new evidence is coming up. My dear sister, can I please remove you so I can add somebody else? What's your name, by the way? This is the first time.
Mariama.
What?
Mariama.
Thank you so much. You're not Nigerian.
I
You're
have
Liberian.
a question before I go. Can I ask a question?
Yes, go ahead. Go ahead.
I would like to know, do you know when the autopsy results will be out or something
Nobody
like that?
Knows.
Wow, that's
the autopsies is the toxicology that we're waiting for.
Oh, okay. All right. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mariam. What country are you from? Liberia, Sierra Leone?
No, I'm from Sierra Leone.
Oh yes, I got it. How is Sierra Leone now?
Sierra Leone is bad. Then I guess Nigeria is getting really bad because actually the president that's now, he don't want to leave. So that's the take on it. On the election, he gave himself the presidency. No, he didn't win at all. So that's the problem now.
All right, my darling sister. Thank you so much.
All right. Thank you, Daddy Freeze.
Take care and God bless you.
You too. Bye-bye.
Bye. If you're watching on TikTok, double click the screen. If you're watching on YouTube, super chat, super stickers, super likes. Samaria, are you available? Remy, are you available? Let me bring you up. I want to hear. Okay, so somebody's joined us.
Daddy Freeze, can I go so that Remy or Samaria can join?
Because
I'm working at the same time. All right, thank you.
You look so pretty today.
Hi, Ma. Hi. Hi, Ma.
Wait. Hi, Daddy Freeze.
Hi, sister. How you doing?
I'm good. I'm just here trying to do work, but my ears are itching from what I'm hearing.
All right, go ahead. Follow my number one gift on TikTok, by the way. Yes, go ahead.
Yeah, okay. Few minutes. Listen, let me say this first of all. We're all thriving on sentiments. You have people coming on to go, oh, he's by because of Naira Marley. Oh no, he's bad because his wife took his properties and gave it to her family. Oh, he's bad because the dad's wife did not take care of him. He's bad because his mother left him. Come on, let's face reality. None of us,
Everybody is pushing the
Yeah, shifting the responsibility.
none of us actually knows exactly, but we have an inclination, an idea of what happened.
Hmm.
This young man, because he's died, because he died,
Hmm.
we're all coming out of the woodworks to kick. Oh, I loved him. Oh, I did this for him. Why do we glorify the bad people and chastise the people that are breathing?
Hmm.
Now, ask yourself, most of the people that have come out to, oh, I want to do this for him. I want to buy him the best coffin. Look, first things first. You have to first of all determine what happened to him. How did he live his life? And what made him to make sure that we will not have another quiet person in the same shoes.
Exactly.
So the question is, they said that the police have been investigating. There's an autopsy or something going on. Why not let them do their job? Why do we have to drive on? And Papa said, in Papa wife said, in Mama said, where were all these people when he was suffering, when he was addicted? He was a drug addict. We saw some of those pictures.
Substance misuse. Be very careful with that.
Yes, and let's be realistic. Most people, even here in states, I'm an attorney. I have practiced for years, and I'm speaking from experience. 99% of most of my clients in criminal justice stars, they are addicted to something. Now let's go back to the relationship he has with Naira Marley and all these people. I don't have anything against any of them. They're all artists. They do what most artists do. They're on something. They're dependent on something to help them thrive, to help them perform. And look at one of our brothers that died here, Michael Jackson. What happened? He was addicted to something. He couldn't sleep. He was taking
Let's
something.
be careful.
And he died.
Madam Chidov, you are getting too emotional and you are repeating these words and you are putting me at risk of community issues.
Sorry.
And
he died.
Yeah.
He died.
Please,
Okay,
one more
sorry.
and I have to remove you because I don't want them to give me stress.
And he died. Okay. So now,
but I understand exactly where you are coming from.
Yes.
Everybody in our emotionals, you see, when I see the way Nigerians reacted to MohBad that they lived among, I understand why you can never understand Bible.
No.
Why religion always be they will always use religion. A pastor in today's Nigeria, where people cannot eat, is building 100,000 seater auditorium and people are praising him. You can never have sense.
Okay,
You
now
think with your emotions. She said something. Have you bothered to, nobody has put even an iota of blame on MohBad himself.
No, okay, now in Papa, come they talk. Because you know one thing about this whole thing. Sometimes when some of us, if you're dancing, if you're a dancer, and you see somebody spraying you, you will get to that place that the person is spraying you. Because you have a cheerleader. The Papa know that people want to listen to most of the things they talk. He go come, they play to the audience. Everybody will play to their own audience. Why not leave this family alone? Right now, they're hurt. Let them play this thing out gradually instead of those of us, the online in-laws and online buyers and buyers. Come out here and be putting fire on a flame that is already out of proportion. Come on. Make I leave people alone. And Papa say this, and Mama say this person say this. At the end of the day, that's where I don't buy. The thing be waiting by ya. Waiting make a buy so that the people where they live no go be buy it with the same thing that buy this person.
So that we can learn a lesson from it.
No, yes, from learn what they buy this person. So the next person where they come up and coming artist, no go follow the same footstep and go buy. That's what we should be dealing with. And that's the way things are solved, even here. If anybody, they say, okay, get person where they suspect, let them interrogate the person. I know they're against that one. But for you to come, and they have to look, the motive why I get. I feel come now, tell them, saying, wife, feeling picking. Maybe I won't do something with the Pekin. Then they will come and say, oh, she said the wife still in Pekin. That's not what we're talking about. Waiting by this young man. If they know to ask the wife question, make them ask him. If him papa know too much, make them ask him question. Come out and tell the police and show them evidence. If something they worry my husband for home, I know say this, he no go take this thing why I mix and give him because I won't make it help him. And I put him maybe for in farina or in soup. He eat them. It means say maybe there is something I know where I won't help him with. It don't mean I won't kill him. And if you go tell him when he sees or something, say, this is my wife, I don't want to take this medication, but don't mix them for my food, give me. It don't mean say I won't kill my man. It means say I won't make I help him. Even here, there's something that they call KE something. In the hospital will order you. Make you go, if that person no agree taking medication, go ahead and do so to give her. Because some people will get problem. They doesn't take medication, they're not in their right sense. A madman who will come tell you, say, mad though. Now you wait there for corner now they make me divert to pidgin English. Now you make there for corner, we take the man. Everybody will say, oh, see that madman. No. You way mad. Go say, look at me, I'm shining today. Now the same thing they do people where they use these things for their head, they scatter. Where they did for substance something abuse. Yes. They don't know, so they get problem. Now people beside them, they look, how do I help this person? So please, I'm begging everybody involved. Let's concentrate. We're gonna know deviate to waiting make this man die. Instead of today, this person will come say, if another person bring idea, you see the apple start to chastise the person. Why would you say this? Follow every lead. When somebody die, follow every lead. No lead be a lead until you find what can happen. And the main thing be how do we avoid this from happening again? I beg. That's all I'm saying. No. Whether in Papa they pursue anything, but right now, make we first focus on waiting make this man buy. He get waiting about in life where we fit learn from to make sure that all these young up and coming people where they come, no go buy the same way. That's what we'll be looking for. If the people will sign them up before we are mean to him for law, you know me say because I slap you, then you die a year later, say my slap kill you.
Yes, now, but be careful with your words. Yes.
Yes. For the wise. So make we
I just pray now, say anybody where I quarrel with, forgive me, oh.
Yes.
All the people where I don't shake pay for, forgive me, oh. Make nothing do you tomorrow, make a constant that Daddy Freeze cuss am for in life, now make him go by.
Because Daddy Freeze, as we did now, if I buy, if they ask me, I say, the other day I talk to that, the priest tell me God punish me, I go buy.
Yes, now.
So please, make we leave sentiments apart. And I don't want any blogger to say, oh, there is this lawyer from America that say, I don't say anything. I say, make everybody shine your eye and leave sentiments apart.
I don't tire.
And be honest.
They go cut everything I say. And you see, I told Ada this morning something. I say I'm a prophet. Things where I talk from the beginning. It will take you 6 weeks, 1 month, 1 year to get to where I was 6 months ago. And I'm shouting, trying to get your attention. This thing where we talk, me and Ebiere don't talk on one day. Me, Ebiere and Remy were on a conference call. We talked about Naira Marley. Ebiere, am I lying? I'm talking about a month ago. And we sat down when we analyzed the situation. And the three of us agreed that the likelihood that Naira Marley will be on the front line for this is minimal. Because, you see, waiting by him from all the reports we are getting, if to say person use knife, chook him, then we can bring in Naira Marley. If to say person shoot him, shakabula, then we can bring in Naira Marley. If to say Baba dey in house, nurse give him injection on his own request. To say that Naira Marley say in sick, Naira Marley can say, I get one nurse if he treats you. As in
Daddy Freeze, even if somebody shook a knife or take gun, take something, shoot and buy, you don't go bring in that Naira Marley unless you show the knife.
But that way, there's still a loophole to say, okay, somebody was behind that. Only you bring nurse.
It's into getting own people. It's here. The business is in. As they make friends, that's how they make enemies. So all these things, and most of the things they are showing, the video, everything, I they look up. Now things from old. So
now a lot of people are raising this unsettled sleep. Can't buy. Yes, we are not ruling that out. And we are not ruling
No.
the fact that his mental health was affected by the way,
Yes.
by his
They
relationship with
treat them.
Malians and Samilari
Yes.
and all that.
Yes.
But you see, the pie did not come, in my opinion, from that. It came from mismanaging a health condition. From my understanding, and I stand corrected, we're waiting for the coroner's report. And if the coroner's report say he suffered a seizure or he went into cardiac arrest because of a medicament that was administered into his system, then that all of a sudden puts Naira Marley even more in the clear.
Okay, but let me say this. Let me say this. In as much as we're talking about this by young man, now another thing they should investigate after they find who by this young man, they now have to overhaul the whole music industry for that country. They see how they treat the upcoming artists and see why the way they treated this young man drove him to the point where whatever happened to him happened to him. That's a different investigation. But right now, the key thing is who bought this young man, and they should get, and why? Why? All the people that were there at that moment, let them come and explain exactly what happened. Somebody knows the truth, but they're not talking.
Can I ask a question, ma'am?
Yes.
Just based on your own knowledge as a lawyer. Aren't some things a waste of resources to the legal system? So let me give you an example. If there's a case I know of that happened here. And when I say here, like in the States, and a man pied his wife and children. He had a mistress, right? And speculations were that the mistress was involved, and it was because the man wanted to end his family so that he could go and start a new family with this lady. There was a lot of evidence that showed that it was probably more likely than not that, yes, that mistress was involved. However, the man went to court, admitted that, yes, I pied my wife and my children, and he was put in jail for life without parole. Nobody questioned the mistress after that. Mm-hmm. The reason is he went to court and said, I am the only one that did this. Nobody else did it. There is no reason to now keep going further with the case because you want to believe that the mistress was involved. And
not
so
in US though. Not in US.
That's what happened. It happened in Colorado.
But I understand. No. But let me tell you, from a lawyer's point of view, they did not convict her, not because of what the man said. They did not have substantial evidence to show that she was involved in any way. Because the man can go and go, oh, I did it by myself. But if they had any evidence that she was involved, it's a criminal thing. They would independently prosecute. Yes.
Because the lady had lots of Google searches on her phone. She had interactions with him after he had pied his wife and children. He literally more or less told her, oh, it's been done. Like, the coast is clear now for me and you. You know.
She didn't have anything to do with her death.
Further.
Oh, sorry. With her pie. Oh, sorry, Doctor. That you freeze. Sorry, you want to take me off now? She didn't have. Listen, this was the thing, and she didn't have anything to do with her buying. She didn't have anything to do with hiding any part of the thing.
Right.
So, yeah.
Why I raise that is because I'm not trying to even digress. Why I raise that is just because when it comes to this MohBad's case, we don't want to start chasing things that are not, like you say, substantial to the case, and thereby wasting resources, like wasting the legal system's time. Essentially, they have other cases too, so that's what I'm thinking about.
Yeah, they will figure themselves out. I think they actually know what happened to the young man, but right now is this blame of, because you pinched him yesterday, so he now have a COVID, so it's your pinch that caused the COVID. How can you correlate that? The pinch you pinch caused something, but it didn't cause COVID. You have to, we have to start facing reality. Waiting by this young man.
It's the African thinking that is just going on, and this is why we are not any further in anything that we do in Africa. This is why we are not progressing. We just think in a very shallow way.
And if your wife do anything or whatever, make them interrogate her, make them find out. See, for me, let them get to the bottom of this. Anybody that is involved, whether wife or papa or mama, talk to everybody involved.
Everybody
don't go, interrogate them.
No one to be exempted. You understand?
They call them, at this point, everybody is what we call party of interest.
Uh-huh.
Yes, any party of interest, interrogate the person, talk to them and find out what they know. That's all that is going to happen. Apart from that, somebody coming out to say, oh, this one, then tomorrow, another story will come up. People should be serious for that town, Nigeria. Stop buying people and calling everybody to come and be buying it. Okay, so this, I love this buy thing. No, I love that thing, buy. Now, okay, Daddy Freeze. Daddy Freeze, I gotta get out of here, please.
All right, thank you
nice
so
to
much.
see you again, ma.
Okay, God bless you all.
Bye-bye, Ma.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Yeah, can I go to?
All right. I wanted to bring Remy. I told her, Remy. Mama Tuzi and Remy. If you're watching on TikTok, double click the screen. Double click the screen. Pop my money gun, no stinjos.
Now,
Huh?
I'm looking for how to leave all that.
No, you don't have to leave. Oh, you are still here. Oh, no need to run anywhere. Remy, where are you? Remy, don't run.
But why can't everybody just wait for the autopsy before, like?
Because nobody wants to wait. Yeah, today. What's this person's name? Samaria. Mama Tuzi has joined.
I can't.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
I really can't stay on that long. I'm at the clinic. I brought my mom to the clinic. But
Daddy Freeze, Remy
Yeah.
says she's here.
Okay. Where is Remy?
She's there. She has answered you. She says she's here.
Okay. Go ahead, Mama Tuzi. Let me hear you.
no, I mean, I think I agree with what Mama Chi actually said about the case. I think everybody needs to be interrogated. It doesn't matter who you are. Like, I know we don't want to go with American standard and all of that. In the US, the wife will be the first suspect. They will want to rule her out to make sure that she's not involved in any way. What I just don't understand is why nobody wants her to be talked to or questioned or anything like that. I mean, she has nothing to hide. She should actually be the one helping with this investigation. The last people with this man in the last 72 hours of his life should be helping to help establish timeline. What has happened in the last 72 hours? Give us timelines of what's happened. You know, Bongoli mentioned my name yesterday, and yes, truly, we were talking about that he reacted to something because they said he was given a shot, and then he started having hives because they said they called it goosebump, but it's not goosebump, it's hives. He was having hives, he was throwing up, he was passing out, and all of that. He was having reaction to the medicine. Now, it needed critical care at that moment. Unfortunately, it was with people that were ignorant, that didn't know, they were incapable of doing anything like that. Even ordinary mouth-to-mouth, giving him some kind of oxygen support would have helped till he gets to the hospital. But they didn't have that. They were not equipped for anything like that. So there were a lot of things surrounding it. I just don't know. I just feel like there's too much shadiness and covering up and everything. As a spouse myself, I think that if my husband is sick like that, and I know that he's not doing better, I will be insisting. I don't care. All the people that we will bundle him into that car, and we are going to the hospital. No excuse anybody can give me that he could not, she can't do that. No, I understand he can be unhinged. They've said that, but there were other men around. The brother and other people were there. The friends were there. They could have helped to drag him, carry him, bundle him into that car. He will go to the hospital by force, by fire. They could have done that. And I, in my opinion, this is me speaking for myself now. I sincerely believe that nobody really pied the guy in the sense that what pied him was a medical situation. It was an unfortunate medical error, medical situation that happened. And that is why the nurse should pay the price for practicing outside her scope, because she's not equipped to do that. The only thing is the people around him, we can give them moral judgment of being ignorant And it comes down to everything you always talk about poverty.
Sorry. I want to address the comment I pinned. Divine failure 21. You started this your failure journey at 21. Why you go call yourself divine success? There's no successful person in your entire lineage. Olori buruku ni e o de ma sori buruku ku ni were. Why will you come to my place and say that the priest is two-faced? At what point in my life have I, Remy, you are my witness, have I said anything different from what I'm saying today? At what point, Olori Buruku divine failure 21 to them Ashori Buruku Kuomarare Kuoma Wogbo Son Waeti Tomotiya. Who at what, because you see, when you indulge these people, when you allow these complete dingleberries to have opinions, this is what you get. Your failure is divine. It was orchestrated into your destiny. What program? Bó ṣe wá wọn lè tà ẹ́ fún herbalist kó rà ẹ́ ní 50 kobo. Bó ṣe wà yìí wọn lè fi ẹ́ ṣe traffic ìtàn traffic human being wọn lè kó sẹ́ńtì ó gbà ọ́. Ibi tó sori burúkú dé òpònú láyé ẹ don't ever come inside my life again no. Anywhere you see that if he is doing life, just run the opposite direction. Kó má bàa fi ìrọ̀lẹ́ Thursday ṣòṣì. Continue jàre Yetunde sister mi má bínú. Because if you don't address these people, they will actually think they are making sense. What is two-face? So I should come see here. MohBad papa no talk say na naira buy am. The wife no talk say na naira buy am. Right now, in what we are hearing from, yes, nobody's even mentioning naira, but you want it to be naira, and you want me to join you and tell you it is naira. If you are a lunatic, you will be a lunatic alone with your parents at home. I will not join you inside. Sorry, Yetunde, say what you want to say. If I don't talk to them like this, ginger news.
I said this is where I agree with you when you talked about poverty. You know, they always say you can take the girl out of the ghetto, but you can't take the ghetto out of the girl. Being rich does not make you enlightened. And that is the issue when we're talking about the deceased in this case. He had money, but he wasn't necessarily enlightened enough to know that, you know what, this is happening to me and I need to go get help. He would rather still ask for Abele nurse to come and care for him. And the people around him likewise had the same mentality. So having money, it has nothing to do with you actually being enlightened and knowing what you're supposed to do in certain areas. And they did say that his mom actually prepared meal for him. And those are the things that really concerns me. Like, so you're telling me that the mother could not even say, no, mommy, take my child to the hospital. Nobody could say, let's call the dad. Maybe we can get all these old people to force him to go. But you are waiting days to get him help. You know, that is the only issue that I actually personally have with the wife. It's not, I don't care about this DNA nonsense. That's what I'm saying. That's why I said his issue was what guided him was medical emergency and ignorance. Ignorance was really, really, really. When they say ignorance is a disease, it's no lie. It's true. Ignorance is truly a disease. Yes.
Daddy Frisbee, I can't see anyone. I can only see myself. Can you take me out again?
No, we can see you, and you're looking very beautiful. You're wearing blue dress. Everybody can see you. Oh yeah, give us your opinion.
I can't see anybody.
Doesn't
now.
matter. You don't need to see us. Just talk. We can hear you. Everybody's talking about your bride price, how high it is, and I'm agreeing with them.
Okay, Mama Tuzi, please go on.
What is going on? We want you to. Okay, we're waiting for Mama Tuzi to finish. Mama Tuzi, Emma Binu.
Yeah, no. No, you can. I think I've actually said most of the things I really wanted to say. I just feel like people need to stop attacking people because we are not calling Naira or calling Sammy and all that. That is a different case.
I call it obedience mentality. If you are not for Obi, you are the enemy.
I think somebody yesterday was actually said it that it's three different. I think it was Samaria that said it's three different cases. One is the issue of the buying. One is the property, fighting for property, and then there's the other issue of the bullying. So it's three different things. We shouldn't say because we are trying to get justice for the deceased, we are now going to put injustice by putting something that they did not actually do and put it on them. I'm talking about Naira and Sammy. If they were found guilty for the bullying, yes, they should pay the price for that. But we shouldn't bully everybody like this obedient mentality and bring it into this. We are not doing justice to the case if we do that. And people will get turned off and nobody will be interested in it anymore. I pray that God will rest his soul and give his family the strength to deal with this, because it's really a sad thing. It is really sad.
If I may ask one question. Everybody is typing DNA. If they do for the child and they find out that the child doesn't belong to him, does not belong to him, what happens next? Does that mean that the wife killed him? Does that mean that the wife died him? So sometimes you can't jump into conclusions like that.
I don't know why Nigerians are not the most physically fit human beings on the planet. Every Nigerian is supposed to get six-pack, including our women, because we jump into every conclusion that is available. We should be so physically fit with the way we jump up and down inside jumping into conclusion.
And the thing is that, you see, this same energy we've got, we don't have that same energy when it applies to doing things right, to doing our work right. You give an average Nigerian a job to do, they don't do it well. They don't have that energy. This energy that they have on this case, why don't they put it on their work, their efforts in their lives, to make their lives better? I just don't understand why they can't do that, So if that happens, what next? I don't get it. And one thing I've noticed is that especially in Nigeria, in Africa, that when a man dies, it is the wife that died him. That mentality, everybody should just move away from that space first. It's not always the case.
Somebody said, I don't trust the wife, I trust the father. Does that father look to you like somebody you can trust? Me, I don't trust. I don't want to say I don't trust that in Papa. There's something wrong. And I don't say this because I think the father is a bad guy. This is my opinion. No. I think poverty has played a number on the way. I have people like that in my family. That's how they think. Money want to work, especially from my papa side. Now so that they think. When the thing go up na property, the thing come down na property, the thing go left, everything na property. Poverty o da o. Yago fun poverty o, yago fun ko da o.
They don't even think about the kids, the child's life.
Nobody's thinking as in a man who's not concerned about the child and more concerned about why the wife's family is holding property is worrying to me. Leave it to me, I'll be worried.
Daddy Freeze, let me tell you something. If anything happens to the lady in question, the MohBad's wife in question, if anything happens to that woman, nobody will be able to care for that child like she will do. No one. No.
That's true. That's true. But if
that child will become should I use slave to everyone.
We can't make that. Let's be fair, though. We cannot make that complete assumption. Let me finish. Reason why I said that. Let me say why I said that. We cannot say because of a child is involved, if the person is now culpable in the dying of the other person, we should now say, oh, well, because there's a little child, do not let us go after this person.
No, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that. Sorry, Yetunde, sorry. I'm not saying that if she's guilty, it's okay. You understand? But what I'm just saying is that if anything happens to her.
Oh, of course. Of course. Daddy Freeze, Daddy Freeze.
Does
My mom
Does
is like,
MohBad look to you like somebody that went through a normal childhood?
no,
No.
Ah.
no. And
And
in fact, all I know is that the wife does not owe Nigerians any she doesn't need to. I don't want her to come on social media or grant press conference and all of that. Whatever she has to share, she needs to just cooperate with the investigation, help them fill the timeline, give them information that is useful or whatever she knows. That's all I care about. I don't need her to come and tell me as a Nigerian anything. I really don't care.
Drop mic. Nobody cares. Nobody cares. Even everyone shouting about, even everyone talking about this matter safe. Nobody cares. After now, everybody just move on to their own life. Abby.
Yeah. And no, the thing is, ABC, nobody is saying the DNA doesn't matter. Okay, that is, we said these 3 different cases. There is the property case. So when they get to the property to establish that truly this child is entitled to this property, they can be asking for DNA. That has nothing to do with the fine right now. You need to, if you start putting everything all together, it will just take so long, and then this case will become a cold case. And that's what we don't want. We need to be able to separate the facts and fictions and everything. So when the family is trying to fight for property, then they can be doing that one. That is a family matter. This one is a potentially criminal case. It's a criminal case because the nurse practice outside that school. That's criminal.
At the end of the day, there's something that lady raised. Before I give this, if you are watching on TikTok, pop my money guns, double click the screen. When I just enjoy the live, double click the screen if you are watching on TikTok. Follow my #1 gifter. There's something the lady said. Chidov, what if nobody acquired MohBad? Have we actually sat down for 5 minutes to think that through? But what if circumstance
that's
just
me.
happened?
That's where I stand. That's where I stand.
What if circumstance just happened? In wound, because his mind has not always been stable. Him wound. They did not handle it properly. Negligence on the part of the family. Negligence on the nurse that they went to bring on his own instance because he refused to go to the hospital. What if those were the circumstances that led to his spy? What if, I'm just asking questions, what if his spy is just to throw light on the intimidation and bullying in the industry that needs to be checked?
Yep.
And what if even that, had an effect on his psyche that eventually led to him making poor choices? To me, I don't see the father guilty. I don't think the father is. I just don't like the way he's handling it. My opinion.
Yeah.
I don't see the wife guilty. Me personally, I just don't think she's telling us the whole truth.
Correct.
For Naira Marley, he cannot be linked to the last 48 hours of MohBad's existence. So it is seeming less likely that it is him. So at the end of the day, it is looking like a bad situation. Isoke Kereto bad in Laje.
Yes.
A small, I'm glad all of you are Yoruba, except my baby that does not understand Yoruba.
Start learning.
It's like Shikuku is learning, but it's not strong Yoruba where I talk. It's like this was allowed to get out of hand. If you ask me who buy MohBad, I will tell you that poverty. From the way he was brought up
and
to the mindset of his people, poverty and ignorance go hand in hand. The way he was brought up, the mindset of his people, the people he surrounded himself with, the choices he made, for me, poverty. And that is
Daddy,
why...
please, let me even support you. Do you know some of my family members, at least 3 of my own family, extended family members in Ibadan? Daddy Freeze knows now, in Ibadan, that in fact, in this last year and this year, that would have died. If not my mom and my aunt, that would have died. Sorry, that would have died. If not for my mom, because You see, these people like you said, poverty, like in the bad themselves, they will be using all this nursing, and these people that will just go and learn how to sell medicine, they will be calling themselves pharmacists and be buying things. Like we might not. A lot of people might not know this, but when you're outside Lagos, you're not within Lagos, living in other states, in villages and all of that. These people use all this so-called nurses that are giving them this, and this is why I was chatting with somebody yesterday when you were having this live, and we were talking about, I blame Nigeria too, which is our regulatory agencies when it comes to all these prescription powers and people being able to just have access to all of these medications and be treating people that they are not competent to treat. So yes, poverty, this thing is big thing. Like people that I know would have died if they would have died. It's my mom, my auntie, they would just say, I'll be like, you better go. Why can't you even go to UCH? Why can't you go to this? If it was in a hospital environment, it wouldn't, the case would have been different. Because even our general hospitals in Lagos, because no matter what, they will have oxygen on site. They will have all these things to help support his respiration, help him support his respiratory distress, to support him through it.
It's Sunday. Can I bust your bubble? Yeah, I lost my brother.
Oh my God!
I lost my brother to I don't want to say, but I've told Daddy Freeze about it before, and we took him to the hospital. This guy survived to suicide. Let me say, yeah. This guy lived for 2 weeks. We took him to the hospital. To the general hospital, instead of these people to pump this boy and get the whole thing out of his system, they didn't do nada. We took him from the general hospital and took him to this general hospital on Lagos Island. What's the name of that place?
Which one, Mercy?
There's this general hospital, Lagos Island. Is not Island Maternity? Is it? No.
It's not Mercy General Hospital.
General Hospital on Lagos Island. Gong.
I think that's Lagos Island General Hospital, Abi. I think it's Mercy. I think that's Mercy.
I've forgotten the name. This guy survived for 2 weeks. For him to be able to survive for 2 weeks, which means he had a chance. But guess what? He died. That's my own brother that I'm talking about.
Exactly.
So what I'm just trying to say here is that even if he had gone to the hospital, or
he could have still died. He could have still died. Yes.
Still died there.
Yes. And that's why sometimes it happens because he has other medical issues going on with him too. People don't just be fainting and all of that nonsense. And then he's extremely, according to the spouse, he was extremely paranoid. He's always constantly believing that his wife is out to get him. People are out to get him. Paranoia, that is a mental health issue. He's always blacking out. That is a mental health issue. He had other things that could also be pointing to maybe early onset of whatever. It could be bipolar, it could be schizophrenia, it could be early onset anything. So, but it wasn't taken care of. At least the parent acknowledged that, they said they would take care of it. I'm sure, like Daddy Free said, they probably took him to church to be doing anointing oil and all of this stuff. So, it's a lot of things. And I hope this is just going to help us as a society to learn.
The thing is that you see, yesterday, don't worry, we are not learning.
I want us to learn, don't we?
We are not learning. We are too slow. We are too slow.
Don't worry, we won't learn. We will listen to you, but we won't take it.
Follow my number one gifter, TikTok people. Follow my number one gifter. If you're watching on TikTok, follow my number one gifter. Pop my money guns. Where are you people on TikTok that like free?
Daddy Freeze, I want to start driving,
Oh yeah, drive.
I don't know road where they go, so I go use GPS.
Drive. I'm so sorry.
Yeah, no, it's okay.
All right,
it's okay.
all right. Thank you so much.
Yes,
Thank you so much.
Yes, sir.
Thank you so much. Remy, over to you. We're rounding off now.
I mean, I totally agree with you, DF, that, and also with Mama Tuzi, that what happened to MohBad is, I think, is more natural. By now, since the police haven't charged anybody to court, it means that they already know what happened to him, and they haven't. It is natural, and they're waiting for the dust to settle. Do you get what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Before they are now announcing, because they know people will definitely kick against it. Do you know what I mean?
Mm.
So it is more natural, but they know that Nigerians, so they want somebody to go down for it, and not the nurse. Do you understand?
Yeah, I get you.
Because it's taking too long already, and the Nigerian police, they are not saying anything, and they can be very quick when they want to be. And in this case, if they found somebody actually guilty, they would have charged the person to court. They would have, done more. So I think it's more natural. Um, Medical negligence. I'll put it down to that. But they're like, waiting for, the dust to settle for people to, forget about it and move on, which is what a lot of Nigerians do, you know. Before you know it, something else will come up that will like distract Nigerians, and then the whole fire will just, go down. And then they will put it out there and say, okay, this is what has happened to him. That's what I think. Mm-hmm.
Mm, 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 mm. Okay. We have Ada Blessing here. Ada, what is your take as we're rounding off? If you're watching on TikTok, double click the screen. Follow my number one gifter on TikTok.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening, my darling sister.
Adam, how are you?
What
I
is
can't see
your
you, but I
take?
can hear you.
I'm fine, thank you. Good evening, everybody.
Good evening. We
Okay.
can hear you.
Everyone has been making a whole lot of sense about the whole MohBad situation, but I think I'd rather speak on the dad. I really don't know why. I know people want differently, but not honestly. I don't know why he's now speaking more at this point here about Wumi, that's MohBad's wife. Okay. Before now, he never made a case. Now, all of a sudden, on life, all of a sudden, you are now you're now coming out to say she was adding this and adding that, knowing fully well that it's going to complicate matters and it's going to make everything worse. Besides, why granting interviews to the general public? If you have vital information like this, it should be reported to the right authorities, because right now all you're doing is you are leading the public astray. We're only working with the things you are saying. And he's giving me the vibe of, I'm sorry, previously I disagreed with, let me not say disagree, I think I was neutral about him being poor and wanting the son's property. But right now it's glaring that that's what he's after. Because it's just too early to be that interested in what your son left behind and your focus being the properties being in Wumi's name. Amara raised a very interesting point. Why? And I'll respond to that with my personal story. So there was a point in my dad's life where he was having issues with his brothers and all of that. My dad had about 3 houses. He got everything in my mom's name. And he did that so that, just like you said, there are some families that you come from. I'm sorry, poverty is a very big issue. Every eye should be on you and the things you have. So my dad just had to remove himself from all of those, put everything in his wife's name. But after a while, he changed things back to his, especially when the storm was calm. He did all of that. So maybe that was what MohBad did, if you ask him. Maybe he did that so as to remove the attention and eyes on him, knowing pretty well his kind of family. And if you should have a son who doesn't trust you enough to put things in his name or in your name as a parent or as a sibling, then it's worrisome. What kind of person are you? He's not even focusing on that. Rather, he's telling everybody all the things he had He got them on, and the thing, it's really worrisome.
But Ada, I believe that if I'm married to
Let me
a
explain something to you. Sorry, before you say that. If I leave my property in my father's name, some of my children will not get anything. My
Maybe that's why Mobad
stepmother,
did it.
hold on. My stepmother, my father's brothers, my father will be thinking about them in the equation. If I leave my property for my wife will remember my father. She will not care about his brothers and his family. You understand what I'm telling you? She will make sure he doesn't suffer. But my father will be thinking of how he can use the property for his own family kind of and my children will not get the best of it. I can never, if I have my wife, I have my father, I will now leave my property in my father's. Is impossible. Impossible. And you see,
like
but there are people whose parents think differently. My father too is a property person. You understand? They think in property. I want to use my property. My property this. Oh, this person wants to kill me and take my property. Oh, you know what I'm talking about. So there are people who, and I would tell you, no matter how rich you are, because MohBad, when he died or when he died, he was not poor. But poverty has an uncanny way of creeping into your system and never going out. Unless you take very conscious steps to eradicate it. You can wear a $1 million watch and still be poor in your thinking, in your mindset. And you can be wearing Marks and Spencer and not have poverty mentality. So poverty
masters.
mentality is not necessarily a function of what you have. It is a function
Yeah,
of how you
permanent is not
think.
cheap. Oh.
It's
What
not
did you
cheap.
say?
M&S is not cheap.
No.
When you're talking about Prada, when you're talking about Gucci, when you're talking about Fendi,
Uh,
when you're talking about Ferragamo, M&S is very, very cheap.
Yeah.
Except for that.
Maybe when you're talking of Primark, then it is not cheap. When you're talking of Gucci, you're talking of
Abi,
LV, yeah, you understand.
you know
So,
now.
so what I'm
I
saying at
do.
the end of the day is maybe because I've seen this play out in my own family. I've seen what property can do. I have uncles that don't talk to us anymore because of one property issue. So, so we need to be able to get into the mindset of these people. I'm not saying the father is not guilty in any way. He just has that mentality that MohBad inherited from their circumstance. And now, one thing about poverty is it is called the primal acquisition. Hey, what can I grab? Oh, what can I hold on to? Inside, you see, normal butter pikin go dey cry. He go cry finish 2 weeks later, can't realize that they don't collect the whole property. Ghetto pikin as they cry, they hold the property. Ghetto pikin wey dey cry, eye dey look road o. Na butter na him dey cry forget himself. I was emotional, ghetto pikin. Inside that emotional, you know wetin they do. So that also played a number in this situation. So that's our take. I do wish we keep the conversation going, but even now I'm getting tired. I'm getting bored. People don't
Yeah.
really. But when I come and let me tell you, when people buy my super chats, my money guns, when I come and I talk about life experiences, and I share my perspective, you go not one person. Let me just because a lot of people think we make money from this MohBad situation. Oh yes, sometimes once in a while. I cannot say we don't make anything, but is right now to be honest, not one person has bought $1 super chat. Not one. I have only 100 stars and only one money gun. If I was here talking about reality of life and sharing experiences and dealing with issues, my money gun for don full. I go don dey get alert say I don't meet my today target. So I'm also tired of talking about it. But I just feel that we owe this boy justice, and we can't get justice if we keep quiet. But it has gotten to a point where we are all bored. We are tired. And maybe we will have to leave the topic maybe for 2 weeks until there's something worthy of us convening again on the matter. So tomorrow, if you come and say that the things you are no longer talking about Mubad, it is because of this. So I thank you all. I appreciate you all. Thank you, my darling Amarachi. I'm going to leave you with the final words. So you're going to close the day. Tell us what you think. And then she has had an earful. So over to you. Close the day.
No.
Yes.
Well, I feel like if we aren't careful and we let too many stories get in, we might stray further from the truth, and we just the truth actually gets buried in, and in the process we start blaming the wrong person. And I feel like we should actually also focus a bit more on Mobad and stop pushing the blame to everybody.
Hmm.
And I also feel like we should just wait for the toxicology and every other result that needs to be done to a test.
You are 100% correct. Somebody just sent me 1,000 stars. Let me give a shout out to the person. Coco Boy Music. Thank you, Coco Boy. But you people are not going to bribe me to continue talking about Mobad again. I'm going to actually take a step back and focus on all the other things we have to talk about, because there's so much more that we have to talk about than going round and round in circles and getting to offend sensitive people who don't like to use their brain. Okay?
And I think yes, that Mohbad's father is not handling this issue well at all.
Mm.
He failed the boy when he was alive, and he's still failing him now.
Mm.
Even if the father feels that the wife may be guilty, he's not going about it the proper way, you know, rather than talking and putting it out there and speculating, he has no evidence to prove that, okay, Mubad actually said something. Because if he did, according to what that guy said, the VDM guy, what he said, that she put something in food and all of that, what did the father do about that?
All right, Iyabo Joe is here. Who can leave so I can bring her?
Me.
All right. All of them want to go. Oh yeah, let's bring Iyabo Joe. Let's hear from Iyabo Joe. Remy,
Yeah.
you can stay. One person has to stay. All right,
Remy.
bye.
Bye.
Has your mom come?
Bye.
All right, Iyabo Joe. Adatu don't run. Okay, Ada has work. That reminds me. Iyabo Joe. Let's hear from you. I've sent Iyabo Joe an invite. Let's hear from you.
So I think he's not handling it well. If he was my own father, my dad, hey, the case would be different. I trust him, Sha.
Me? I don't believe my own dad will have handled it better than Mohbad's dad. I'm sorry. They have the same type of mentality. I'm sorry, it might look wrong, but that's one of the reasons why I'm worried. Because for him not to put his property in his father's name, you understand what I'm telling you? Iyabo, I don't send you request to Queen Mother.
It means they were not close. He did not really. You're right. He didn't really trust his dad.
There was something. Fine. At the end of it could also be women manipulation. Queen Mother. Queen Mother.
Hello, everyone.
Hello, everyone. We've got the Queen Mother in the house. How are you doing?
I'm fine, thank you.
So, Kini updates.
I already made a video about the updates already, and I
How
said
come I've not seen it?
because I
When did
spoke
you drop the video?
Yesterday. It's on my page. Yes,
Yes.
My baby sister, me,
I
I've just been
called.
all over the place.
I know. I spoke to the PRO, Benjamin,
Mm.
and he said they are still waiting for the autopsy result. It's been done. The autopsy was being handed over to Ikeja General Hospital. So they
Okay.
did the first one, which is the how do you pronounce that now? Umasa family. The
Preliminary report.
criminal, whatever. So the the other one, which is the toxicology results, they don't do it in Nigeria, and then that has to take like few weeks for it to be ready. It takes between 4 to 6 weeks. So the police people said they even asked for the first result, but the hospital refused to give it, saying that they have to wait for the second result to come so that they can submit everything, that they have on ground. And that is what they are also waiting on. That was why they transferred the case, the CP transferred the case to the DPP so that they can also look into the case while they wait for the final autopsy result, you know. And so I think also probably reason why his body has also not been given back is because they want the result to come. The family might decide tomorrow to say they want to do another private autopsy or whatever it is. So I think they're just waiting to do things the right way and not having to rush. So that was their explanation. Yeah.
Okay. That makes a lot of sense. Now I want to ask you your opinion because we've been discussing opinions here. We are trying to looking at the situation. She na Naira Mali, she na the papa, she na the pikin, she na the mama, she na. You understand? We're trying to look at this because, to be very honest, the police, in as much as I appreciate what they've been doing, they're not really carrying us along. And this is such an emotional case. What are your thoughts from your understanding of the case? What do you think led to his demise?
Okay, so I think because, the way we cried out for justice, they really have to be careful because, everyone is involved. Everyone is part of this. And this case cannot be swept under the carpet. And I think that they're just trying to do the right thing, which is first waiting for the result to come out. That's my own, because I speak with them all the time. They're waiting for the results to come out so that they can, I think when it comes out, obviously there's an corona inquest going on this case already, and while that is going on, they are waiting for the results. So there's really nothing they can do for now until that result comes out. The first thing that they did after they learned about the first autopsy was the people directly involved with him when he died, which was number one. There were reason why was the nurse called for him to get an injection or treatment, right? It's because he had an injury which was caused by, they said, a friend that he had an issue with. The friend has been called upon and he's with them right now in custody. So the nurse also who gave him that injection is also with them right now. The videos that were trending about Sam Larry attacking him or beating him up and all that is the reason why Sam Larry is also being seen as a suspect. Naira Marley, because his name was called several times, and they already had written a petition stating that Sam Larry was attacking him because of Naira Marley. So these are all the allegations that they have right now that they are working with.
until the autopsy result comes out fully. They really cannot, how will I put it? They really cannot, we really can't pin anything on anybody now. Everything is just allegations, allegations, allegations. The only person right now that I think they're holding as maybe the number one right now is the nurse that gave him an injection. Do you understand? Because that was what led to him foaming and whatever it is that happened to him. So until we get a clearer picture of exactly what caused his death, was it poison? Was it an infection? Was it an overdose? Was it a heart failure? I mean, what really happened? So until we get that, we really cannot say for sure who actually was the curse or reason why he's late today. So my own take is just like everybody has different ideas on how they painting the pictures, and I don't blame Nigerians if they don't believe in the police because of, I mean, it's Nigeria. All these things happen. You understand? When the police gets bribed and all that and all that. So I know all these issues happen in Nigeria, and because of, I mean, a lot of cases that we have seen, Nigerians tend to want to not believe in the police and in their system. But at the same time, we can't take laws into our hands. We need to wait and, look into this matter very well, because what exactly is the problem? I asked his family, that were with him, which was his wife and other friends, was he taking drugs or anything? They said no. Did he take anything on that day? Alcohol, whatever it is? They said no. But we cannot base our judgment based on what they have said. We can only base our judgment on when the autopsy result is being released to know if actually he overdosed, if he was on drugs, if whatever it is that must have happened to him. So anything we say now is just speculation until we actually get the results and we know exactly what the result has said is wrong with him. So that's my own way of looking at it.
Now, there seems to be so much emanating from the camp of the dad versus the camp of the wife. I don't know if you saw into that particular narrative. It seems like the dad and the wife are not really getting along. Were you able to speak to the wife one-on-one? Were you able to speak to the dad one-on-one?
That is crazy. I really don't want to talk about their family issue. I wouldn't lie, because my own concentration is just based on MohBad getting justice, and whoever it is that has done it, whether it's the wife or the father or the friend or whoever it is, should just, be punished for whatever it is they have done wrong. And that is just my own take. So, but to be honest, I have spoken to the wife. I have spoken to MohBad's mom, and MohBad's dad also called me up and told me some things. And from what MohBad's dad said, I know there's an issue going on between the dad and the wife's family. Do you understand? There's an issue going on, because he called me and said he wanted me to first say thank you to everyone, for everyone who has supported. He heard about the fact that we went to get to check out a place where MohBad can lay to rest, and he's really happy that we went to do that. His son told him, because I actually called before going. I called the mom, the dad, and I also called all of them. He gave permission, so he was calling me back to return to say thank you. I saw that you guys went and everything, but his own concern now and his pain now is that he would like me to ask MohBad's wife's mother some questions. And I was like, what are the questions? And he laid the questions on the table, which are personal family questions. And most of it is based on property and money, So And one of it was like he said to me, I bought my own property with my name. So why would Mohbad buy a property on his son's name?
Oh, so
Don't
the
I think that
property is
that
in
is shady?
Mohbad's son's name,
Yeah, he said, yeah, there's a
not
property
in
that
his wife's
Mohbad
name.
bought. No, the son.
But what we are hearing, yeah, but thank you for bringing clarity. Oh. What we are hearing, we now second hand gist we dey buy now, but bend down select gist langbo. They say Mohbad wife,
Yeah.
mama, na in they hold the document of Mohbad property. That's what we heard from the streets. So if Mohbad bought the property in his son's name, I swear to God, I don't see a problem. I'm sorry, I don't see a problem.
I don't see a problem too because my properties mostly I put Pesos and Priscilla, so but everybody is different. You understand? Everybody is different. So I can't fault Mohbad for buying a property in his son's name,
100.
and yeah, when I heard that, when he said that, I didn't argue with him because they are all grieving. So me, I don't argue. When he just told me anything, I was like, okay. And it took me a while to even call uh, Mohbad's wife. I just like for 2-3 days I was pondering on the question because there were a lot of heavy questions, allegations that he laid. I can see that he already has said it is already on social media. As at then, he was not on social media. He told me, but I was like, how am I even going to put this on that? Because I was very careful. I didn't want to get in between. Do you understand? In between the family issues that they had, But eventually, I called her up and I said, I need to speak to your mom. And then the mom was there and she was there, the sister was there, and I just said, this is what your father-in-law is saying, and I told her this is what this person is saying, and no, the sister was there with Mohbad's wife when I called Mohbad's wife. So I just said, this is what is saying, and I think you guys should call a family meeting. I don't think, because for me, it's all about justice for Mohbad. All these property fights that wants to go on, it's not even, as at then, it's not even a month when this boy died. Do you understand? So I just felt like irritated by all these property issues that they want to start having now. So I think it's their family issue and they should find a way to sit down and sort this thing out,
Tell them
And
less,
Mohbad's
less.
wife was, she was crying. She was saying, she's going through a lot. She's stressed. She'll tell her mom, she doesn't know why he's having issues with her. And I was like, have you guys been having issues before? She now said no, that they were very close before, even there was a time, I think maybe when she was pregnant or when she was looking for pregnancy, I can't remember which of the two, that he even took her to the mountain to pray, they are close, but it was after she had the child that they now started having issues. You understand? Something about, I don't want to mention it. I think it's for her to explain when she comes and talk. So, she said a whole lot of things that was going on between them. So I just give my own advice that if these things are going on like this, I think what you should do is probably tell your mom, maybe you guys can get the elders, have a family meeting, and let them lay everything on the table. But I had to reconfirm, is it true Mohbad bought a property in his son's name? And she said yes, that he bought a property in his son's name. I said, okay. The house, apart from that property, is there any other property again that is causing issues? She said no, that the other property is the one that's where they buried Mohbad initially. Yes, and that's with the dad. And I asked if the house they were staying is owned by Mohbad. She said no, that is rented. I think she said he moved in there April, this year. So. And I was like, okay, so is that the only property that is causing issues? She said that. I said, okay. So what about the money allegations that she said when he's sleeping that she transfers money from his account to the mom's account? And she was like, I think the sister picked it up the sister picked up the phone and collected the phone and said, you know what, whenever he's ready, they can go to the bank, print out bank statements. At least if a money was transferred from MohBad's account to the mom, to MohBad's wife's mom's account, right? At least the bank evidence will show all that. So I said, okay, these are things that they need to sit down and sort out between them, because as far as I'm concerned, it's a family problem. It's not going to help in the case right now, because those are personal issues and those are just family, property, wahala issues that is going on and on. So that's it.
Yabo Joe, I must really praise you tonight. You have brought so much clarity to this matter. The public, as usual, are overreacting. Even we don't they blame the papa for one side. We don't they blame the wife for one side. We don't because you see, when I tell police, when I tell law, forget this law people have been practicing that you inherited from British people. When you practice law like 1920, you will be getting 1920 problems. You cannot have a case of this magnitude and the media is not properly briefed. Today they go say na Naira Marley kpayam. Tomorrow they go say na Samilari kpayam. Next tomorrow they go say na him wife. Next tomorrow they go say na the papa. Next tomorrow, as in I don't even know what to believe. And in fairness, I've complained about the justice system that needs an overhaul. The police system that needs a proper overhaul. People need to know what's going on. We're all sitting in our houses and assuming. And listen, me, at least I assume with sense. The average Nigerian on the street is not using his sense to assume.
Yeah.
Please close door. It's not using sense to assume.
What I know is that they requested
if you understand
for evidence.
What I'm saying.
They requested for evidence, and all the evidence that was sent to me as at that time, because there was a time I put out one of my office numbers, even the voice, there was a voice recording the wife did when MohBad was saying, if I die, they should hold you responsible. That voice note was sent to the police. A lot of evidence that was sent to them, and they acknowledged it, that they received it, So, but the way Nigeria is, they would that's what we can't force them, because they are saying they are holding on. We are the ones that said we wanted a proper investigation done. So we have to wait for the autopsy. Do you understand? So there's nothing we can force them to do right now until that autopsy comes out, and they have one, they are waiting for the second one, So there's nothing we can really do or say. But yes, their family issues is them for them to sort out. Like the issue of the what's that thing you do when you're born and they say the pikin is not your own? DNA. DNA. So like the DNA issue now, it's left for the father to say, I want a DNA. If he wants a DNA and he tells the police, they would now bring it up, and then they will get one of the, the way they do it now, the Lagos State government hospital, general hospital, they will go and run the DNA test there. So at least now that MohBad is still not buried yet, his corpse are still there, probably they can get something from him to run the DNA test. So if he really wants it, he should push for it, So that's left. But all these things are things that it has to be between the family. We, the outsiders, cannot get involved in that one.
In-laws, we have to be careful.
She can't do the DNA herself, because if she does it, people can, they can say it's fake. And the dad can also not do it, because if he does it, they will say like it's being manipulated. So it's still the government.
Have to do it.
Yes, but they have to give them permission. They have to ask that they want it done. So the father has to ask that he wants it done, and then they will do it, because they are the ones that want it. So that's just basically what's going on now.
Okay. Very big shout out to you, Queen Mother Iyabo Ojo. Thank you for bringing so much clarity to this very peculiar matter that is perplexing and affecting all of us. Thank you for that. I love the way the police is handling it. The only place where I fault the police is in the fact that they are not carrying the people along in the little details just to give rest. That belief of we will do
Okay.
it and when we are ready we'll come and tell them. The people are agitating, the people are unhappy, the people are making assumptions, and God forbid if these people had caught Naira Marley 1 month ago waiting there for Duam, no be waiting with the talk now. You understand? Because they've made they've made up their mind saying that this person. But as the case is evolving, let us now have clarity because from the latest inquest, it is now looking less like Naira Marley and more like a poorly handled family issue that had lapses inside. That's my opinion. I may be wrong. You may have a different perspective.
I feel when everyone came out to talk about it, it wasn't about the family issue, but it was about all the videos that were being released out there, and emotions were rising about everything that was going on, because like I'm seriously mad at Sam Larry. Do you understand for what he
Me
did?
too.
And
We are all very unhappy with him,
because
and he has to make good.
you understand. So that was it. And um, what now? What Naira Marley? When I mentioned Naira Marley then was because he also did a write up there that says, "Oh, he's my blood, my brother. I love him." Blah 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 blah. So my own take is if it's your blood, your brother, you love him and everything, then why is your best friend beating him up? Do you understand? Chasing him up and down. And, we see this boy to the extent that he had to go and, file a petition. Do you understand? I mean, I heard from his close friends and even his wife that they even tried to arrest Sam Larry like twice. Do you understand? So, I mean, why was he going through all these issues with Sam Larry and you could not put a stop to it? I mean, what did you do about it? And also there's allegations of the fact that he hasn't paid the boy anything as at that time. Because from the wife and some of the friends, I even learned that MohBad, even when the wife was pregnant, they were still living with Bella. And Bella was taking care of him, giving him money and everything as at that time, until eventually got little money and got his own place and, started doing good little by little for himself, So, I mean, why was this being done? Do you know why was this being done? So that's just a question I think a lot of people wanted to know as at that time. And people were really angry with all the videos, and emotions were just, flying everywhere. So obviously, but right now, for me, I don't know. The dad has his issues with the wife and the wife's family. And that is very glaring now. But we have to be careful in how we get involved
Let me
in their
ask you one
personal
more very important
family
question.
issues so that it doesn't, yeah.
And this question has been raised on many, many platforms. Was MohBad legally married to Wumi?
Okay, so according to them, they did the traditional wedding.
That's legally married.
No, I don't know because sometimes traditional weddings are in two ways. We have the momimo. Momimo is more like introduction. And then we have the traditional wedding, which is the momimo, and then some people do it together. The momimo and introduction is done together. Some do it separately. So I know they had one but I don't know whether it was the traditional one they had or the momimo, because even the dad told me when he was talking that when Batonshe Yawu, because Yoruba, if it's English now, they'll be able to separate it. But when you say Atishe Yawu, so the Yawu that they're talking about, I didn't bother finding out whether is it the momimo or the traditional wedding. But yes, something was done. And because he said, nígbà tó ń ṣe mọ̀ mí mọ́, Mohbad ti gbé DJ, bọ̀bà tó máa fi gbé DJ débẹ̀, ìyàwó náà ti gba DJ. So, bolo ti ń rówó, there was a topic like that. So, I mean, from that, I found out from the dad that there was actually a wedding. But I don't know whether it's what do we call Mommy Mo in English? Introduction.
Introduction.
Mommy Mo is introduction. Then engagement is the proper traditional wedding. So I don't know whether it was the Mommy Mo they did but I think it was the traditional wedding according to them. I think so. I'm not just sure. So I don't want to say what I'm not sure about. But I know I know something was done. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Iyabo Ojo, my lovely sister, Queen Mother, what you have done today, you don't know. You have given all of us, as in we were looking. Now this thing, this cloth, now in the use they cover our eye. We no see. We just they grab every. But as you come, you don't come out the cloth, so we don't they see clearly. So now we have a level of clarity.
Okay, introduction and engagement. Okay. Okay. Someone said they did introduction and engagement.
So you guys have heard more. Let's continue encouraging the police to do a good job. The only thing we want is to carry us along. At least let's have a proper spokesperson, not their old-fashioned type of spokesperson. Proper spokesperson. We go call social media, can't do live. Where they go drill them, where they go tell us, just to carry the public along so that the public can feel that they are being served by these people. Remy, thank you so much. You heard with your own ears everything. This has been very informative. Iyabo Ojo, I know I can always trust you, and I hold you in high esteem, which of course you know. So thank you very much, and everybody, thank you so much. I'll come later on the night. We'll talk about something different. At least we now have an update that makes us realize that okay, things are being done and are in the works. God bless. Take care, and see you all soon.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.